Good morning, students. We have a new topic in today's class to discuss, which will be electromagnetic induction. Students, as we know that an electric current can produce magnetic field, that is, a current carrying wire will behave like a magnet as long as the current flows through it. Then, if the current can produce magnet, can the reverse be also true? That is, can it be possible that we can produce electric current with the help of magnet? Scientists have started thinking a lot into this matter, and it was Michael Faraday, a great physicist, who first of all found that it can be possible. We can also produce electric current with the help of a magnet, and it is this process what we call electromagnetic induction. But the question comes, how can it be produced? So to produce electric current with the help of a magnet, we need to take a solenoid. This is a solenoid, and a magnet is put inside the solenoid. This is a magnet. Now when the magnet is pushed inside and pulled out, that is when it is moved in and out, then it is found that current is producing or current is flowing in the wire. And to check whether the current is flowing or not, the two ends of the wire is connected with galvanometer. This is called galvanometer, which will detect the presence of current in this wire. It means to say that electromagnetic induction is the process, is the phenomenon of inducing an electric current by changing the magnetic field. So when the magnet is moved inside and taken outside, it is the magnetic field of the magnet that is continuously changing, and that is only inducing current in the wire, which is called electromagnetic induction. So it is necessary to continuously move the magnet for continuous flow of the current. Otherwise, once the magnet movement is stopped, it is noticed that the current stops flowing. So I hope this is clear. This is called electromagnetic induction. Now the question comes, can we increase the strength of the current so produced? Yes, it can be. We can also increase the current. So there are three different ways by which we can increase the strength of the current. The first is by taking a stronger magnet. Remember, stronger magnet will produce very strong magnetic field, so that will also increase the strength of the current. Second is the relative speed between the magnet and the coil. It means to say that what is the speed of the movement of the magnet, how fast the magnet moves. So if the speed of a magnet is more, then we can say the strength of the current produced will also be more. That means we can increase the strength of the current by increasing the speed of the movement of magnet. And the third is by increasing this number of turns in the coil. As more and more number of turns are kept in the coil, stronger will be the current so produced. So the three factors that can increase the strength of the induced current is the strength of the magnet taken, then the relative speed of a magnet and the coil, and the third is the number of turns. So these are the three factors. Let us now come to electricity. How can this electricity be produced? Of course, this is the process of electromagnetic induction, what we say, but let us see inside of the production of electric current. So we will now see electric current. Now we all know that electric current is due to the flow of the charge. Then where is this charge coming from? You should always know that it is the atom that constitutes the charge. That is, inside the atom there are 3 charge particles. In fact, not 3 but 2 charge particles, and one of course is neutral. So altogether there are 3 particles, out of only 2 particles are the charge particles. So we can say that atom has got charge particles in it. So this can be taken as the orbit of the atom, and this is the nucleus, where we find proton and neutron present. Remember, proton is positively charged and neutron does not have any charge. So these are the 2 particles, and in addition to these 2 particles there is one more particle called electron, which is negative charge particles. And it is this negative charge particle that is responsible for the flow of current. Because when this electron moves in a certain direction, in a specific direction, we call the movement of the current. Now, we will see that these electrons, which will be the free electrons that does not have a very huge force of attraction with the nucleus, can only be able to move. So all those electrons which are able to move are called free electrons and are only responsible for the production of electric current. Now question comes that when electrons move, because these are the free electrons, so they will move in any direction. Electron does not have any certain direction to move. They can move randomly here and there. So these are the electrons we have. We can take. These are the different electrons, but they do not have a certain direction to move. You can see with the help of arrow mark I have shown you, they are moving randomly here and there. Now, this movement of electron which is not in a certain direction will not flow the electric current. That means there should be some force to be applied in this so that the electrons could move in a specific direction or in a certain direction. So with the help of the force, we can make the electrons to move in any certain direction. This way. So you can see all these are now moving in a straight direction, in a straight line. That means they have a certain direction to move. Now we can say the current is flowing. Question also comes that who will be there in this to exert this force to make the electrons to move in a certain direction? Because we cannot apply that force directly. It is the battery or any source of current that we call the force, which will be able to move the electron in a specific direction to flow the current. I hope this part is clear, and next topic we will see about the potential difference and many other topics based on electric current. Thank you.